Okay, hello. My name is Alejandro Rodriguez, and with my partner Deivid Matute, we are going to talk about one of the most used design pattern. Okay, the design pattern is a factory method, and this presentation is for the object-oriented programming course. Let's go. Okay, what is the factory method about? This is the first topic that we will talk. Okay, the factory pattern, well, the factory method is a creational design pattern which solves the problem of creating product objects without specifying their concrete classes. Okay, how it works? Okay, the factory pattern, it suggests that you replace direct object construction calls with calls to a special factory method. The objects are still created via the new operator, but it's being called from within the factory method. Objects returned by a factory method are often referred to as a product. The factory method design pattern solve problems like how can an object be created so that subclasses can redefine which class to instantiate, how can a class defer instantiation to subclasses. This is very important. And we have the structure of this design pattern. This is important. And the structure, we have the main classes, the creator class, and the product class. And these have a lot of operations. The creator needs to instantiate products, but the concrete types of each product must not be reflected in the creator itself. Rather, the possible subclasses of the creator must be able to specify the concrete types, subclasses of the product to use. These two classes are very important, and we are going to talk about that in the presentation soon. Okay, we have the UML diagram. In the UML diagram, first we have a product class interface. We have the creator, we have the concrete creator A and concrete creator B. We have the concrete product A and the concrete product B. And these two classes, the concrete creators, are subclasses of creator. This is very important. Okay, first, the product declares the interface, which is common to all objects that can be produced by the creator and its subclasses. Okay, the concrete products are different implementation of the product interface. And the creator class declares the factory method that returns new products objects. It is important that return the type of the method matches the product interface. And we have the concrete creators override the base factory method, so it returns a different type of products. Note that the factory method doesn't have to create new instance all the time. It can also return existing objects from a cache, an object pool, or another source. This is very important. And we have a diagram of sequence. We have a client, we have a concrete factory, we have a concrete product A and concrete product B. The client create a product A, and we have the concrete factory. It create the new concrete product A and return the product. And this is the same for the product B. The client create a product B, and we have the concrete factory, and it create the new product B and return that. It's simple. Okay. And we have more about the structure. The product defines the interface for the type of objects, and the factory method creates. We have the concrete product that implements the product interface. And the factory declares the factory method, which returns an object of type product. And the concrete factory release on its subclasses to implement the factory method so that it returns an instance of the appropriate concrete product.
Okay, the applicability, the factory method is used when you want to provide users of your library or framework with a way to extend its internal components, and also when you want to save system resources by reusing existing objects instead of rebuilding them each time. A class can anticipate the class of objects it must create, and a class wants its subclasses to specify the objects it creates. Okay, and now we are going to talk about the implementation. And when we want to implement the factory method, we need to follow some steps. And number one, we create an interface, and then we have to create concrete classes implementing the same interface, and then create a factory to generate object of concrete class based on given information. And finally, use the factory to get object of concrete classes by passing an information such as type. Now the factory pattern have pros and cons, and we are going to talk about some advantage and disadvantage. First advantage, it has modular expandability of the application, good stability, significant method names, and one of the most important is to hide concrete classes from client. And the code deals with the interface and advocate for the component-based development. Okay, now the disadvantage. Some of them are high number of required classes, extension of the application is very elaborate, since the pattern relies on using a private constructor, the class cannot be extended, and refactoring an existing class to use factories breaks existing clients. Okay, the relations with other patterns. The factory pattern or factory method is a specialization of template method, and the abstract factory classes are often based on a set of factory methods, but you can also use prototype to compose the methods of these classes. Okay, we have here an example on Visual Studio Code. It is made on Java, so we are gonna show you how it is implemented the factory method in this example. So we have here the restaurant class. It is a public abstract class called restaurant. It has a void called order burger, and here is important. Here it has the create burger. It is the factory method. It is the most important because it's the main topic in this class. So this class is called the creator, and we also have the creator concrete creator A and the concrete creator B, like we explained on the structure of the presentation before. So we also have this interface is called burger. In this case, it is the product, and it has concrete products A and concrete products B. For example, we have here the beef burger. It will be the concrete product A, and veggie burger it is, or it can be the product, the concrete product B. So the concrete creator A, for example, the important thing is here because it used the factory method, and it used this method for doing specific things, and we can see that this class extends from the creator, that is the class restaurant that has the method pattern, the factory method. And now we learned how this works and how is implemented the factory method on this example of Java. So thanks for watching and see you.